Well, come down the boat for a little while. I ain't got long, just come down, tidy up a little bit, maybe do a little bit of sanding if I've got time. Hello and welcome to Life of Dave. We're back down the boat. Managed to get down here today. Not doing a lot, just nipped out for the morning, just do an hour or two. Got to have a little tidy up, go through this lot, and I'm hoping just grab the sander and have a little clean up one here, see what that starts looking like, give it a little go over, see if we can get it looking half tidy. Once I've done that, I'll sort of know how it's going to look for the rest of it. You know, I can work out if what I'm doing is right, you know, if it looks okay or not. If it doesn't, yeah, you know, there's not really a lot I can do about it, but you know, I want to sort of know what it's going to look like, if you know what I mean. Just sort of start to finish it up a little bit, dress it in and see how it's going to turn out, and that'll give me an idea as to how to finish the rest of it. If it's starting to look really naff or it's like too much work, I might have to alter how I'm working, what I'm doing, you know, change my design or something, because I've got to repeat this over there, you know. So yeah, I need to see what it's like, how time consuming it is, if I'm going in the right direction or not. You know, I'm not a boat builder, but I've learned how to do bits and doing it myself and giving it a go, basically. You know, I think my glassing's coming out reasonably well. I think it's more than solid enough. Everything seems to be good. I'm getting a good key and a bond between the layers, so you know, I'm happy with where it's going so far. We've just got to crack on. But yeah, for now, I've got to tidy this lot up and get on with some sanding. I hate sanding, but it's got to be done. You can't do anything until I've sanded. Everything's got to be sanded before I can put the next layer on. So, unfortunately, it's not a laminating surface, so it has to be keyed up by sanding and sanding and sanding and sanding. Right, anyway, let's crack on, see what we can get done. The crud out of the way. So we've got to sand this lip off where the overhang of the glass is. I've tied it in at this end, and just under here in the corner, that's all got to be sanded. That's feathered into there. I've still got to glass it to the hull underneath and along the top here. I've done down there, across there and up there. So it's got to be tied in properly, top and bottom, to seal in the filler, the bonding paste where it's stuck on. This has got to be built up to layer these two together so that it's a smooth transition and sort of curving round, try and sort of bring it out level with the boat a bit more. So that's got to be filled up. There's quite a low spot there. I don't want to add too much weight, so I'm not going to go for perfect. I'm going to go for as close and as good as I can get it. To build that up to the level of this, you know, to make it look perfect, it's going to be a lot more weight I'm adding to the boat if I do it there, and on the other side. You know, it's just not practically possible. Get the old sander out and we'll see if we can tidy that up a bit. So last time I came down here, we got water in the boat. The window behind me had leaked, yeah, and sent everything mouldy and yeah, manky. So I've had to have a major clean up and a tidy up. Still got a few little mouldy spots that need to be banished, but it's not looking too bad now. It's a lot better than it was. So yeah, so I've been set back a wee bit, and of course we've had Christmas in between. I've not had a chance to get down, so yeah, it's all been a bit hectic. I thought I'd come down this morning and just see if I can do a little bit of sanding and get this area here half tidied up. What I want to do is get on with some glassing and get this all finished, but the weather's just not right. It's too cold for glassing, really. Probably get away with it today. It's a little bit warmer, but it has been a bit on the nippy side. So right, let's get sanding and see if we can get this looking a little bit better than it is. Right, the lighting sort of is what it is. I'm going to do what I can. I'm not going to be able to show everything because it's just not going to be viable, but let's crack on and see what we can do. but it's highlighted just how low this side is to that. There's a big dip there, huge. So I've got to fill this side up a lot to blend that in. So that's going to need glassing up some more. But I think this will work. That's looking pretty good, so I'm happy so far. There's a lot more to say and get though. Looks a lot better. I think I still need a little bit more on this lip to give it as sharp a turn as this one. Hindsight, I really should have just thrown it in the bin and made a new one, or used it somewhere else or whatever. But I didn't. It's in there, it's done now. It definitely looks slightly different profile to that one on that radius there. But if I can get this head matching, I've got to build this out a little bit more. I almost need to bring it out so it's almost 90 degrees, you know, build it up so I can knock it back to match it into this one. But I've also got to change the level here, bring that up, because that is nowhere near good enough there. I've got, oh, it's terrible. It's like way up. So I need to glass this side to bring that up so I can smooth this across as one. I don't want any more build up on this side, so take that down a little bit more. I've tapered that off there. Needs a little bit more. I need to build this side up and then put one piece across to tie it all in, but without building this side up too much. It can come up a wee bit so that I'll bring it out to this a little bit so I can smooth it round, and a little bit of fairing compound will finish it off. But I want to get most of it done in glass so there's the least fairing on there as possible. This has worked really well, so the glass has stuck nicely to that. And instead of sanding filler, it's all glass. So I'm not going to get flexing and popping of the filler. So I'm pleased with that, that's looking good. I've got a little bit more sanding to do there. Let's just get this bit finished up, and under here, some sharp bits under the edge still. Hopefully I can get into that. I think some of that's going to have to be by hand though, but it's definitely going to have to be by hand. Right, let's just turn my plate around. So paper's wearing out. I'm just going to spin it round because I'm predominantly using one end at the moment, grinding it, so to speak. So do get through a lot of paper. Environmental impact, I'm going to use the other end, otherwise that bit's still like new. Alright, so that's all keyed. I've got a little bit under the edge to get to by hand. So I need to build this lip up to match this one again and fill that up. I'm quite pleased with how it's turned out. I have created, like I say, a lot more work for myself doing this. I think in hindsight I would have been better with my original plan of trying to shape a board to the side of the boat and then making this in one piece, you know, so that the whole thing transitions smoothly from one end to the other. Yeah, in hindsight that's what I should have done, but if I do that on the other side, it'll make that side look better, but then this one will look absolutely naff, you know, so I've got to keep it looking both the same. This is going to be more than good enough. It's not going to be as perfect as I'd like. You know, I would have liked it smooth with the side of the boat flowing through, but practical and reality, you know, it's just not going to happen. It is an old boat. I've got to stop trying to be so perfect. I want it all done right, don't get me wrong. I want it done right. I don't want it falling apart and coming back to bite me because I've you know, cut corners or nothing. I'm sanding everything. If it's set up, I'm sanding it before I stick anything else on and making sure it's keyed properly. You know, as good as I can do. It ain't going to be 100% perfect. It's not a £100 million super yacht or something like that. You know what I mean? It is an old 1970s Shetland. I just want it to look nice. Got a little bit of finishing under here to do. Yeah, knocking the camera over. So I've just taken off all like the drippy sags that are hanging down, keying it all up. I'm not trying to get a dead smooth flat surface. It's got to be gone over again when I tie this in. So all this is going to end up a mess again. I just need it keyed up so I can go over it. When I finish it, what I'll need to do is glass it, let it set up but not cure, flare it, then flat it and gel coat it. So I need to do that in one process without letting it all cure too much, you know. So I haven't got a sand between the layers. I need to do it together, or at least get it glassed and flared in one go. Yeah, once I've got the fairing on there, I can put some paper on a block and then I can make sure it's all flat. There's no point getting it flat at the moment. I've still got to glass over it again, so it'll be kind of pointless really. It'll end up having to be done again, so there's no point me wasting my time getting it all perfect to be glassing over areas again. But that ain't bad. I'm happy now. These two are pretty even. There's a tiny little dimple there, but between these two surfaces that'll fill her out with a little bit of fairing compound. I've got this big lip between this surface and that surface. You know, I'm not going to be able to do anything about that. I just can't. To level that to there would mean bringing this out so much. It's just, yeah, ain't gonna happen. I can bring the hoover down, clean all this out. Yeah. Get this glass thing inside. It won't be the inside of a locker, but in my head, I know it's there. It's got to be done. I want it all looking good. One of my mates comes out to look at my boat, opens the locker and it looks a mess in there. Oh, what do you do there, Dave? You know? No, I can't do that. It's got to be right. I want the inside of the locker to look as nice as the outside. I'm too fussy. Like I say, I can't do it perfect, it ain't going to happen, but I want it as perfect as I can get it. Once this is all done, the locker will be glassed in from the inside and the outside, so it should be absolutely solid. So what I've got here is, I tape this up, the resin's run down over the tape. I've done the same here and up here, I'll put a bit of tape. But what that'll do is I'll rub through that until it hits the tape, and then you can always peel it off and then just lose the edge where you peeled it back to. And that stops that resin from coming down any further and having to sand it off all the way down here where it's sagged, you know, and run to. So I can contain it up to there. When I get through to the tape,
I know I've taken all the resin off that I don't want lower than where it is, you know. I've reached my line where I wanted it to come to. That's enough for it to bond in what I want. Job's a good one. I'll work that up. Yeah, if I can get to that with a sander. Because that's going to be a lot of sanding and it's going to be quite hard to do by hand. So that'll definitely be easier with the power tools. Right, so we are pretty much ready to get that glass next time down, I think. Oh, yeah, sweaty. Looking pretty good, so all I've got to do now is remove that bit under there, and then this is ready to glass in. So I think before I do the rest of it, I'm going to concentrate on getting this tied in, inside, outside and underneath, and building this area here up. I don't think I'm going to build this up too much here. I might build up this area here, because at the moment I've glassed along here and up there. So just to sort of level this out so it's all consistent, I might build that up, and then I'll have to taper it off so that the door still sits flat. But I've still got to build up enough here to get the hinges on. Really I needed a bit more depth here to give me a flat edge for the hinge to go. This one's sitting a lot flatter. I might have to put a bit of glass in and build up like a little ridge, so that where the hinges are, I've got a little bit sticking out, like a little ridge built up that's flat to give me a flat surface to screw to. That will stop the hinges pulling round and pulling the door out of line. That's what I've been thinking in my head, so the hinges will sit flat. It's not going to be a lot, but it'll be enough. I don't think it will make it look too bad in my head anyway. We'll work that out, we'll have to see. Alright, let's just see if I can sand this bit off. Yeah. I'll peel that back, I'll retake that next time. Get rid of that. So there's my tape, look. I'll peel that back with some of the resin on. That come off really easy actually. There was a very light sanding and that went through that. It was only a small amount of resin. What, mind your nails. Get that under your nails, that hurts. In other areas I've done this, it's worked really well. The only thing I would say is, like I've done here, avoid the corners, because if you can't get into it, it makes it hard to get rid of. Yeah, I put the heater on when I got here to warm it up in here. I'll have to turn that off. Yeah, so don't tape into the corners and let the resin run over it. Like I did there, look. Not too bad. This is one thing to consider if you're taking on a big project. It's time. It takes a long time, a lot of time. Me, like many of us, I haven't got time. You know, I've been saying it for, I don't know, hour or so, hour and a half, and I'm out of time. I've got to go home now, see the wife and kids. What I've managed to do is come down and get this all sanded ready for next time. So I've still got this side here to do, but I can do that and fair it another day. Needs a little bit more sand in there to just lose that tapering edge. Like I say, that's the corners are a lot harder to get to. A little belt sander would be good for that, but I ain't got one of those. Used to use those doing the cars, they're fantastic. Little resin spot strip down there. Right, that ain't bad. So I think next time I come down I'm ready to start laying some glass. I think we'll give it some acetone, clean it up. Right, that's it. So we've managed to get that all sanded. I'll say still got some build up on there, maybe a little bit on there. Tie in the top, inside and underneath, as well as build this lip up. So there's quite a bit of work left just on this locker alone. And I'll say, as you know, I've still got the other two to finish this side and then start the other side. So I've got a lot of work to do and a lot of sanding involved. Whew, that's just the way it is. But there you go for now. That's me done today. I've got to get home now. I've got stuff to do at home as well. So. But we've got some sanding done, so that's all finished. I don't know, can't see underneath there too well, but right, so that's the underside. So it's a little bit curtainy, but I've managed to get in all the spots by hand with a paper to tidy it up. It's basically keyed up something glass over it and not get too many air bubbles. It's flattened off a little bit, but oh, yeah, it is warm, it is windy. And I've got to get out of here. So thank you all for watching Life of Dave, and I will catch you all next time. Bye for now.